Happy 2021, everyone. This is the catch up here on Cris Cyborg's YouTube channel. I am James Lynch. She is Cris Cyborg. Cris, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me here again. I'm excited for today.
Yes, and excited that we got a lot to talk about as we usually do. I want to just remind our audience, though, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We really appreciated all the support last year, and we got even more fun stuff planned for this year. But you're actually not in the United States right now, Cris. I know you're in Colombia right now. What brought you over there?
You know, second time I come to Colombia, I came to BioXcellerator for do the stem cells, the treatments, all my injury. And I went last time, and I treated all my injuries the whole long time my career, and I feel great. I have amazing year, and all my injuries very good. And they return for do one checkup and then healing, take care of it again.
Yes, and we've talked about this before, about you getting that treatment. Just remind our audience what some of the benefits are that you've noticed, why you're going that route in terms of treatment.
The last time I had a lot of problems with my wrist, my knee, and it's a long time, because you train every day, and before handball too, before I play handball, and then my shoulders, it's not the same, and it really helps, really helps recovery for all the little injuries we have for a long time. And I feel the difference. I feel my body the difference after the injury and after coming here to treatment.
Now, did you spend New Year's Eve in the United States, or were you in Colombia for that?
No, I stay in America. I was in America, and then after we came to Colombia.
Did you do anything for New Year's Eve? I was stuck at home. I think like most people, I didn't do anything exciting. So
I stay stuck at home too. I stay in Christmas. I had COVID, and then I stay in Christmas at home, and I stay Happy New Year at home too. I stopped a little bit before the New Year in Las Vegas, but I stay home too.
That's good. Staying safe, which is the most important thing. And just last thing I was going to ask you about Colombia. Was it tough, in terms of travel? Because I know, travel this whole year has been difficult with all the COVID testing. Did you find it different when you were going to travel this time around?
Now I think start today, you have to do test COVID before, I think 48 hours and before you fly. And I saw too in the airport have COVID test too. I think probably people do before the fast one. I think a couple of things change, for can travel safe.
Now, Cris, you're a Grand Slam champion, and I know one of the things to achieve those, milestones is to have goals. Do you have any New Year's resolutions this year? Because I wrote down mine the other day. I got a couple things I want to work on this year.
I have a lot of things that I want to work on this next year. I want to work my Spanish. I'm in Colombia, but I want to work my Spanish. I work my piano. I want to do more 3 fights this year. And these fights, I would like to do the boxing fight. I put in my mind is I already started to train with Virgil Ortiz, and I'm very excited. People see, how I improved the last year, 2020, worked really hard. And I'm very excited, for next year, and I want to do most fight I can this 2021. And
it was a really successful 2020 for you, being in Bellator, winning the title. What was your favorite moment last year? Because there was a lot of highlights for you in 2020.
I was getting the fourth title for me was really special. The Land champion, and I know it's hard, it's a tough year for a lot of people, for everybody, for me too. But for me, I cannot complain. It's a lot of bless, and I have the opportunity to see my family too. Everybody very, very healthy. My parents, and then I feel grateful for have to fight 2 times a year, and I have the opportunity to see my family.
And one of the things we didn't talk about last year was Kayla Harrison fighting at 145. She did manage to make the weight for Invicta, and she got a pretty impressive win. What did you think of her performance? Because, obviously there's a lot to unpack from that.
I saw she make the weight. I didn't watch the fight. But, a couple fights I see her. I believe she's fighting girls below her skill, like the girls not her level. But she's doing great. And this is a strategy to her manager. And of course, you have to go get it. But I believe this year she's gonna fight for PFL. She's gonna be the tournament 155. Mm-hmm. And if you be the champion, this tournament, for sure I would like to make one match with her. I think all the fans would like to watch. And I would like to go on 55. I believe before I retire, I want to help build that division. And if she's young. And let's see if she'd like to do one real match for her.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about fighting at 55. That's interesting. So that is something you want to do in your career.
Because they never have the opportunity. All the people tell me go below,
right.
low.
Yeah.
And for me, I walk 170, 175. If it be 155, it's better to be 145. And I never had a chance, but for sure, this is the one dream can come true.
Okay, well, there we go. Always like getting these little tidbits of information in our talks.
Yes.
So it looks like Bellator is going to be doing a light heavyweight tournament. Of course, they signed Yoel Romero and Anthony Rumble Johnson, and they have a new champion in Vadim Nemkov. Is that something you'd be interested in your weight class? Seeing all the women, because there's a lot of featherweights in your weight class.
I watch a lot of tournaments. Before from Cheetah Box. In Japan, a lot of tournaments people do one day, all the fights in one day. I have a dream do one tournament, but I would like to do like in Japan, one day finish.
Yes.
And this is the old school style. But it's very nice with Bellator doing this tournament and giving improve and give the opportunity for the women.
If it ends up happening, this could be one of the best tournaments we've had since Pride. You look at some of the names in that light heavyweight tournament. You've got, Ryan Bader and Rumble Johnson and Yoel Romero. I heard Gegard Mousasi wants to move up and fight in there too. So who knows if that ends up happening? But I think that's one of the cool things with Bellator is they're open-minded enough to do tournaments. And I think that's been really exciting. We've seen that right now with the featherweight tournament. So it'll be interesting to see.
It's something different. The tournaments help you build the mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
People like to watch this. And it makes people more excited to watch it. This is very nice, Bellator, very cool ideas.
I agree. Scott Coker said recently in an interview that he wants you to fight early, or I think it was beginning of Q2 for Bellator. And I think a lot of people are wanting to know who your next opponent could be. Do you think it's Cat Zingano? I mean, that's the one name you haven't fought. She's a fellow UFC veteran. I think that's the fight that a lot of people want to see right now.
The Cat Zingano, she started to fight at 145, and she did a couple fights. She the girl beat Amanda Nunes, I think the last girl beat Amanda Nunes. This fight, I beat Misha Tate. She's a big name, huge name, and for sure, if Scott Coker say, Chris, next year you're going to be Cat Zingano, I'm just have to work, training, and be ready, and excited for this fight.
And in terms of training, I know right now, obviously you're away. You're probably doing a little bit of training over there, but when are you actually getting back to the U.S. and getting back into sort of a camp?
I was just in America and I was training, and now here I come do some treatments. I go back to America and start training. I was training. I always have to improve and getting better. I believe just you cannot train before the fight, but I always keep training and just, be prepared for any opportunity to show up for you.
We talked a bit about boxing there. Logan Paul looks like is going to be boxing Floyd Mayweather. They announced, the pay-per-view prices and all that. We're seeing these YouTubers, Chris, come into the boxing world. I think it's very interesting. And Jake Paul looked like he was going to fight Ben Askren. We don't know if that's still happening, but he's called out Conor McGregor, Dylan Dennis. What do you think of this? Because, there's two schools of thought on this. There's the one side that says, look, it's bringing new fans to boxing. And then there's the other side of it that are kind of the old school fans saying, you're watering the sport down. Where do you stand on this?
The first thing you have to see the positive things, the YouTubers, people say, the YouTubers, but they're different because they're athletes. Before they do wrestling, in high school, and then, and then you can see the last fight, Paul did. You see he did it great, you see his improvements getting better. It's different, he's have a lot of followers around him, and followers like to watch what he's doing, and imagine you go to the fight. I think this has helped the fighters too, the community fight. They want to fight because then getting better. They don't just go over there, talk. No, then training hard, then do the best. They want to be real fighter and make good fight for the fans.
Yeah, and I'll just to sort of piggyback off that, a lot of people are, like I said, not a fan of it, but I think this is an audience that boxing wouldn't have got if they're not, because the YouTube audience is a younger audience, right? It's not necessarily the audience of combat sports. So, for example, when Jake Paul fought Nate Robinson on the Mike Tyson card, like that had to have helped the views on the pay-per-view, right? So, if that's going to put more money in Mike Tyson's pocket, wouldn't that be better for everyone? That's where I stand, right? It's not like the UFC where, they had CM Punk fight on a pay-per-view. I could see people being upset by that because there's other fighters that might deserve it, but with boxing, the model's a bit different, so it's kind of more about the fighters. So I think it can work. That's my opinion on it.
I think it worked. I think you opened the door for another fight too, and they have big name, big followers, and then athletes. You see the good fights. People like to watch good fights.
Now, if people have been following you on Instagram, obviously you're doing a lot of traveling right now, but on the Cyborg Zoo account, I saw you brought your pig to the beach. Did you get any trouble for that? Manny Pacquiao is the name of your pig.
Then I start to make a plan to walk with Dan every morning on the beach, and he's enjoy. He's running, I don't have trouble. He's very good. I didn't know. I was thinking it would be a big problem. But he don't want to leave the beach. This is the problem. He don't want to. I want to pick up him, put in the car. He don't want to come and screaming very loud. Everybody listen to him. But he's loved the beach, and we're gonna bring him more times. I'm gonna try 2 times a week. And he's very behaving and learning. And it's very good pet.
That's great. And by the way, I said his name wrong. It's Manny Porkiao, right? If I'm not mistaken, not Manny Pacquiao, but a playoff Manny Pacquiao is what I was getting at there. So that's good. We got to do our Portuguese saying of the week. I said it off the top. I said Happy New Year. We'll use that today for our Portuguese saying of the week. So how do I say Happy New Year in Portuguese?
You say Feliz Ano Novo.
Okay, Feliz Telenovo?
No, Feliz.
Yeah, Feliz.
Ano Novo.
Un novo.
Ano.
Uno novo.
Ano.
Uno. Feliz uno.
Uno.
Okay, I got to go back and watch that one. I'll get that one. Usually I get it the first time.
Feliz Ano Novo. Good.
And before we get out of here, we got to talk about your New Year's Eve meet and greet with your premium members.
Yes.
How was that? Because, that's something we've been talking about leading up to the end of last year was your premium service. Again, for the cup of a coffee, less than a cup of a coffee, you get sort of more interactive with you. It must be rewarding for you to really get to interact with your fans like that.
It's great. Everybody locked out inside the house. Everybody's be safe, now. And for us, it's nice opportunity for me to give a return for my fans, be with them, talk with them. They're curious. They want to know more about me. And we have the idea, have the premium, premium membership. You go to my website, sign up. It's cheap. You can be with, you can get on coffee and talk to me. And we did one party, New Year together. And, share every wishes you want for the next year. What are we thankful for the last year? I really enjoy this moment with my fans. And soon we're going to have the date for the next one. And, I enjoy the time. I'm really thankful for all my fans. And this is the moment for them.
Yes. If you go to CrisCyborg.com, I'm sure there'll be updates on the next meet and greet. Same thing on Twitter. I mean, you should be following Cris anyways. She's posting updates I feel like every time I'm on Twitter, I see an update. So it's always, you're always very active on there. By the way, we didn't have this in our rundown, but I saw your TikTok video with your daughter. That was very cool that you did recently.
Do you know, my daughter all the time, she loves TikToks, and all the time she's telling me, Cris, do it for me. And we're doing a couple together, and let's see people like that. Please follow me on my TikTok. Motivate me. Let's go.
They should do a compilation. You should talk to Scott Coker and get all the women's fighters to do like a TikTok compilation. That would be cool, don't you think? I think that would be cool to get a new audience in there. That would be interesting. All right, well, that does it for today. Again, just want to remind our audience to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll be back next week giving you another edition of the Catch Up. I hope everyone had a great New Year's Eve, great holiday season. I'm glad everyone stayed safe and all that. And more importantly, thank you to Cris for doing this. Again, she's traveling right now, so really appreciate her taking the time here today. Cris, anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
I just say thank you, James. Thank you for everyone. If you start to enjoy, like our podcast, please leave a message, share, follow me on my Instagram, all my social media, and we're doing this for you. I hope you enjoy.